Hello everyone, my name is Fish and I am the representative of Human Resource Department. Today I would love to give you guys a presentation about our company's new manufacturing in Chongqing, China, and its related staffing problems. There are three parts in my presentations. First of all, I want to introduce the main difference between the traditional human resource management and the international human resource management. Then I will make a recommendation on the staffing approach, and also I will give you guys some cultural conflict we are going to meet in the new countries. So now let's begin the first part of that. The primary concern may occur is the selection of expatriate. We are going to assign some expatriates to Chongqing, taking the charge of our new foreign markets. Expatriates have to move across national boundaries, and they are supposed to own very strong adaptability in local environment. The interval of bedding-in period closely related to company's efficiency in the local country, because an expatriate failure would cost to the miss of best business opportunities, especially in China, where it's full of competition from so many multinational companies in the same industry. They also need to have very strong communication skills to report to the headquarters the very updated situation and uncertainties, and in order to eliminate the upset from headquarters. After that, the Human Resource Department need to get more involved in the expatriates' personal life, because whether the expatriates feel comfortable or satisfied with their foreign life is closely related to their working performance. The Human Resource Department may care about expatriates' life from their living habits in a new city, in terms of the food, accommodation, leisure time, and relaxing methods. Also, whether expatriates' personality arouse social conflict with local citizens is another essential concern. For example, an expatriate with comparatively reserved personality like me, he would feel very uncomfortable to get too much dinner party with their business partners, which is quite normal in China. Just imagine how could he keep drinking all the night and still stay focused on his work the other day. If he gets for this life too long time, it's also be possible to cause depression, something like that. At last, the manager in a foreign country need to change his management method from senior management to the bottom-up line management. It is impossible for the headquarters to supervise the day-to-day business in China. The local manager have to make some flexibility in the process of management and get in touch with headquarters shortly, especially when unexpected things happened and things our company is a group of is going to set manufacturing subsidiaries in China. It is really important for a good communication with the technical people, because it may, we may have some language barriers, whatever, something like that. That's all the problems I concluded we are going to solve in this foreign investment, and all these problems we have not met before in our domestic human resource, so we need to really pay attention to that. Now let's move to the next part, a recommendation on the international staffing approach for the managers. Although this is our company's first attempt to enter foreign markets, we still decided to use international division structure, which means we will establish our own foreign production facilities to take full advantage of cheap Chinese labor force and save some expensive shipping fees. For example, as we all know, the labor force in Australia is quite expensive. To hire a qualified technician, we have to pay at least $20 per per hour. But in China, the average wage of the technical workers is around 200 Chinese currency to 1 day, which is less than $30 when changed to the Australian currency. So that's really cheap and save a large amount of money for the company. In terms of the staffing approach, we are going to use the ethnocentric approach, which means we will expatriate professional managers in key positions from Australia for the concern of general control. On the other hand, according to Chongqing's local employment conditions, lots of qualified people are willing to work in a foreign company, especially an Australian one, for the well reputation of that. We may also place some host country nationals in several other key positions, such as technical directors or marketing directors, to comply with Chinese government incentive, which encourage foreign companies hire more local people. The reason why we choose this staffing method is to avoid the risk of lack of qualified host country nationals, especially in the first few years of the company enter into Chongqing market. We also need strong communication, coordination, and control links to ensure our new subsidiary complies with overall corporate objectives and policies. After the early stage, we can select some well-behaved employees as entry aids to reward their good working performance if they are willing to work in Australia. This may reduce the limitation of the proportion opportunities of the host country nationals. In addition, if the business goes smoothly, it is really essential to set a expatriate's place in Australia to enhance the communication of these two countries. All these methods aims to optimize the company's capacity and take full advantage of the resources we can use. I believe if everything goes well, it is really helpful for the company to go on the track soon. About the last part of my presentation, I want to focus on the cultural issues we are going to deal with and worth our attention. What is culture? Culture is a system of values and norms that a group of people hold with. It is obvious that people who live together tend to have the same opinion toward one thing. The value means that what is good, what is right, and what is desirable, and the way things should be. The norms means the social rules that prescribe appropriate behaviors. From human resource perspective, we have to be very careful about Chinese people's society attitude towards freedom, truth, justice, honesty, social obligations, difference in roles of women and men, which may affect employees' working performance. Interestingly, nowadays in our modern life, Chinese people do strongly influenced by the thought of Confucius and show highly respect to the Confucianism, which made some contribution to our comparatively conservative attitudes towards new things. That doesn't mean Chinese people do not welcome creative thinking or technical innovation. They just need time to accept new things, and they have doubtful opinion towards what never happened before. In China, an experienced old employee is highly respected, although he need to update some theoretical technology. If people want to try a new method, they need to ensure the high possibility of the success. When dealing with all the difference and the commonality of the of the cultural background of two countries. We need to get a balance of that and seek common grounds while reserve individual difference. Here are some tips for our new managers to pay attention in their new working environment. First of all, concepts of beauty. In Australia, it is quite normal for female to wear black legging or mini skirts in their workplace. That's really hot and sexy. However, Chinese traditional uniforms require females try to avoid too sexy outfit for the sake of office ethnics. People also have different attitudes towards education background. A leader with a degree of famous school is quite important to convince his employees that he has strong business abilities. However, in Australia, I think the human resource pay more attention to people's extracurricular activities and their actual ability to solve the problems. Sex and marriage is also a quite sensitive topic among Chinese people because of their inherited reserved personality. So it is wise to avoid these jokes in the office because people really feel shy about that. Last of that, a warm tips. Hot pot is quite popular in Chongqing, and people will show their hospitality to invite you to join them to share the hot pot together. It is really not common in Australia that all the people sit together to share the food from the one pot. So if you want pay a visit to Chongqing, make sure you will have a try because these spicy foods are really delicious. That's the end of my presentation. I hope all these themes can make some contributions to the human resource perspective and our company's foreign investment will be going well. Thank you.